Oh, hi! So, as you may or may not know, I have recently been to London. It all happened between the 6th and the 13th of August, and with the company of 4 of my friends, Maria, Pedro, Ricardo, and Marcia. A lot happened during those days, from the usual sightseeing, to visiting shops and markets, to feeling as though the entirety of my subscription box had been spilled in front of my eyes. I am, of course, talking about summer in the city, which I'll get to in just a moment. But first, let's start from the beginning. It was 3 a.m. when we got up to get ready to catch our flight. We booked a taxi to drive us to the airport, and by 4:30 we had arrived. Our plane was only leaving at 6:45, so we had a bit of time to spare. We finally got in the plane, and after 2 hours we were in the land of sexy accents and weird ways of driving. So first day we went to see the London Eye, Big Ben, the Houses of Parliament, Westminster Abbey, St James's Park where we made friends with a squirrel, Buckingham Palace, and then at night Piccadilly Circus. Day 2 we decided to rent Boris bikes for the day, which I don't have footage of because 1, I'm not a very experienced cyclist, and 2, I didn't want to be pushing my luck carrying around a pretty expensive camera in my hand. We visited the British Museum, had burgers for lunch, mistook St Pancras Station for King's Cross Station, but eventually found it and intended to take a picture near platform 9 3/4, but then we saw the size of the queue. Instead we headed to the Harry Potter store and met a girl that looked an awful lot like Moaning Myrtle. We then went to Camden Lock where we saw a bunch of cool shops and where I randomly came across Jessie, a YouTuber who I've been watching for years. After dinner we went to Oxford Street for some shopping. We then headed to Queen's Theatre where we waited to meet Carrie at stage door, which was just the icing on the cake and the perfect ending for the day. Day 3 was more of the same. We visited the National Gallery, went to Covent Garden, and to finish off the day Leicester Square, where we had noodle soup for dinner and went to M&M's World. On to day 4, the day of summer in the city. We had breakfast and took the bus to Alexandra Palace, where summer in the city was taking place. Once inside Ali Pali, cool name Ali Pali, we went to some really interesting panels, such as the comedy panel, the LGBTQ+ panel, and the music panel. We didn't go to any meet and greets, but we still managed to meet a few YouTubers and we got to see a few acts on the main stage. So, a pretty well spent day. So, day 5 followed. For day 2 of City, we decided to once again go to a few more panels, and the creative process one was my favorite of the day. We then saw Casper and Joe on the main stage.
Mandela. Yeah, I was about to say Nelson Mandela.
My dad met him.
Can you guess who mine would be?
Mila Kunis.
And then Emma Blackery went on stage to shave all her hair off for charity, which may or may not have made my eyes tear up a bit. And then it was time for Jack and Dean Live. And that was summer in the city for me. I had a really great time and I honestly didn't want it to end. On day 6 we went to Tate Modern, had Nando's for lunch, and saw this during the rest of the day. Day 7 we went to Harrods, where we obviously bought absolutely nothing. Then to the National History Museum, the Science Museum, Hyde Park, and Piccadilly again. Day 8 was our last day in London, so we only had time for a quick visit to Hamleys, a pretty massive toy store for those who don't know, before we had to be at the airport to catch our flight home. And that was it. Thanks for watching this, and I will see you in my next one. Bye bye. Here's a little secret for you. I'm wearing my pajama bottoms.